Okay, as far as I'm concerned, Halloween is not just a night, it's an entire season. In fact, we here at the DM Wisdom Manor started to decorate September 1st. That's kind of like a holiday before the holiday, at least for us. And we've already got pretty much everything out here. We got some spider webs and a spider up there, 12-foot skeleton. I've got my big ass witch over here. As well, I've got my headless horseman right here, ready to rock. Being that it's the Halloween season, I was reminded of this video that I collaborated on Mr. Welsh's channel. If you haven't checked that out, there's a link in the dungeon. On that video, we were all talking about our favorite adventures, and mine happened to be Ravenloft. So in the spirit of Halloween, let me share that with you. I'm gonna put my mustache back on and go back a few months. I hope you enjoy. Ravenloft. Well, someone had to do it. I'm that guy. I'm even smoking my Dracula Peterson with some no-bite delight in it. This is one of the most beloved modules of all time, and in 1983, completely changed how most of us saw role-playing games. The revolution changed the way we thought about adventures, adventure design. Then there's the isometric map of the castle. Just amazing. It was a dramatic shift from what gamers were used to. Dungeon crawling, random monsters, and treasure finding. Ravenloft had a story, a good backstory. It had a beautiful classic villain based upon Dracula. And the adventure leaned hard into that literary villain, as well as the Hammer horror films. Written by Tracy and Laura Hickman, and their precursor to it was them playing this basic module and castle every Halloween for years, and then finally translated into the AD&D adventure we know and love. I love the Taroka deck reading that is in the front of the adventure. In the module, it used regular playing cards to map out this tarot reading, but with the later campaign setting, it came with the Taroka cards, which are some of my prized possessions. I've played the module many times, sometimes to completion, other times not, and other times with a complete shift of focus. As you know, the vanilla module has you set out on a quest to take down Strahd von Zarovich. However, the last time that I played it, the focus completely shifted. And maybe through retelling this, you can pick up some ideas for yourself. First off, this was a 2-shot, so we were going to complete this adventure in 2 sessions. I had set up that the player characters were actually previous victims of Strahd, having been killed by him. We start off the session with them being resurrected by a Barovian witch, wanting these characters to exact justice on Strahd once and for all. The characters rise from their grave with some interesting features. One of them has the side of their neck ripped out, and consequently causing vocal issues. Another character has his entrails from the front side constantly spilling out in front of him. Another character had his leg ripped off and through the resurrection process now has a ghostly appendage. The last character basically was exploded all over the place, and whoever had interred them had sewn their body back together, so they kind of looked like Frankenstein's monster. The witch convinces them that with their combined strength, they can take down Strahd, and gives them their Taroka reading. Next, I leaned into Professor Dungeon Master's advice on how to run Ravenloft in one night. I think it's episode 162, where you roll randomly and one of the characters is the reincarnation of Tatiana, which is the Mina of this adventure. As well, I love the Gary Oldman's Bram Stoker's Dracula and brought over that romance into this adventure. So Strahd, having previously killed this reincarnation, didn't know it until after he had killed the reincarnation. So he's doubly heartbroken about the loss of his love. Lo and behold, my wife, who is at least part vampire herself, her character was the one that was rolled. Ironically, or maybe even unironically. But it was still randomly during the session, though they didn't know it at the time. Long story short, at the beginning of the second session, this reincarnated Tatiana and Strahd are alone together. A bit of some deep role-playing later, and she has sworn her fealty and her love to Strahd. to no one's surprise. She and Strahd convince the rest of the players to join with Strahd. They receive his immortal kiss on the neck, becoming vampires because hell yeah. But now I'm left with a quandary. I have a few more hours a session and no BBEG. What to do? I need a baddie, and fast, for them to fight so that this adventure has some sort of crescendo. Enter Van Richten and his vampire hunting do-gooders. Storming the castle! We had an epic battle on the ramparts of the castle, inside the courtyard, and on the road leading up to the castle. It was an epic and memorable game, with the party coming out on top, destroying Van Richten and all of his do-gooders. And, well, saving Strahd. It's okay to think way outside the box. If you're more black and white or don't like playing morally gray games, then this may not be for you. But we had a killer time with this adventure, and maybe this will inspire one of you to actually go and tweak this classic adventure and make it brand new all over again. What do you think? Would joining forces with Strahd and taking down Van Richten be an awesome adventure or what? Let me know in the comments. Alright everyone, thanks for stopping by Agranak Studios today, and we'll see you on the next one. Later!